Hey everybody. So once again, we are seeing more and more tribulation shadows coming into play. Revelation chapter 6 verse 5 says, "When he opened the third seal, he heard the third living creature say, 'Come and see.' So I looked, and behold, a black horse, and he who sat on it had a pair of scales in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four living creatures saying, 'A quart of wheat for a denarius, and 3 quarts of barley for a denarius, and do not harm the oil and the wine.'" I wanted to read an article in relation to this third seal. Again, just to clarify, the church is not destined for the tribulation. What we are seeing now are tribulation shadows, things that are setting the stage for this prophecy in Revelation to come into fulfillment. And I think the world is getting ready. This article comes from summit.news. War will cause hell on earth for global food prices. The world is headed for a catastrophic global food crisis as a result of the war in Ukraine, which will cause hell on earth for food prices, according to experts. Half of the world's population gets food as a result of fertilizers, and if that's removed from the field for some crops, the yield will drop by 50%. Known as the breadbasket of Europe, Russia and Ukraine export around a quarter of the world's wheat and half of its sunflower products, such as seeds and oil. David Beasley, the head of the World Food Program, was, if anything, more than pessimistic regarding his comments. Quote, "Just when you think hell on earth can't get any worse, it does." Listen here to what he says.
I'm standing here in Ukraine. You can see we're in a crisis, but it's not just a crisis inside Ukraine in terms of displacement, but it's also a crisis because this is going to affect supply chains, and particularly the price of costing of food. Already the World Food Program, before the Ukrainian crisis, we were buying 50% of our wheat, our commodities, right here in Ukraine. This breadbasket helps us feed the world. Yemen, Ethiopia, Syria, and I can go on and on. And now we're looking at a price hike that will cost us an operational cost per month, $60 to $75 million more per month. And that means less people are going to get food, which means more people are going to go to bed hungry.
Noting that countries like Lebanon, Yemen, and Syria are dependent on Ukraine for around 50% of their grains, Beasley noted the stunning turnaround. So if you're going from being a breadbasket to now literally having to hand out bread to them, it's just an incredible reverse of reality. With the number of people facing starvation worldwide having already spiked from 80 million to 276 million before Russia's invasion, thanks largely to COVID lockdowns, that figure is set to increase yet again. Meanwhile, Russia has also threatened to close its main gas pipeline to Germany if the West bans Russian oil, a move that would cause oil prices to more than double to $300 a barrel. Presumably, the ultra-wealthy elite who are currently panic buying survival bunkers have already made preparations to cram them with storable food that will last for many years. Again, brothers and sisters, we are seeing the stage being set for Bible prophecy to be fulfilled. Let me remind you what the 6th seal says. "And the kings of the earth, the great men, the rich men, the commanders, the mighty men, every slave and every free man, hid themselves in the caves and in the rocks of the mountains," i.e. bunkers, "and said to the mountains and rocks, 'Fall on us and hide us from the face of him who sits on the throne and from the Lamb, from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath has come, and who is able to stand?'" Brothers and sisters, look up, your redemption draws near.